Welcome you all to Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. This video is on course Water Supply Engineering, third semester of Civil Engineering program. In this session, viewers will come to know about topic population forecasting under Unit 1. Course outcome for Unit 1 is CO1, that is estimating water requirement for public water supply scheme. Table of content. Before going through the session, let us recap the previous session. Previous session has covered per capita demand. What is per capita demand? Formula for determining per capita demand, factors which affect the per capita demand, variations in demand, different types of variation in demand, and assessment of demand. In this session, we'll know about population forecasting, methods of population forecasting, factors affecting estimation of population forecasting, or factors affecting estimation of population, arithmetical increase method, and problems on arithmetical increase method, multiple choice questions. Population forecasting. Before knowing population forecasting, we must know population. So what is population? The term population is used to indicate the total number of human beings residing in a certain area at a particular time. So population forecasting means determining the future population of a town or determining the expected future population of a town or city from the census data given by the local authority. Present population is obtained by referring to statistics of census records which are available in the census department. When the design period is fixed, the next step is to determine the future population of a town or a city. So first we must know what is design period. Design period is the future period for which various service units or various components of water supply are designed for. Water supply project is not designed only for present population, but it is made to accommodate the future population also. The future population of a town depends or vary upon several factors like birth rates, death rates, migration and annexation. The future development of town may produce a sharp increase in growth of population or slow growth of population, or sometimes it becomes stationary or even decreases in population. It depends on several factors. So, after knowing the population forecasting, we must know the different types or various methods of population forecasting. Generally, the standards method by which the population forecasting is determined are listed below. Firstly, arithmetical increase method, geometrical increase method, incremental increase method, simple graph method, decrease rate of growth method, comparative graph method, the master plan method. Out of 7 listed methods in our curriculum, we have adopted only 3 methods. Those are arithmetical increase method, geometrical increase method, and incremental increase method. So, after knowing different methods of population forecasting, we must know what are all the possible factors which affect the population forecasting. The above methods, in the previous slide we have discussed about different methods of population forecasting are more or less standards methods of estimating population after each successive future decades. Generally, two or more methods are adopted in each case and mean value is adopted. However, the difference between the actual and estimated or predicted population is likely to be more marked with similar cities than with large or larger cities. Accuracy of population estimates or prediction of population decreases as the time period of the forecast. The following are the factors which may affect the population. Accident in the nature of big fires, epidemics, floods, earthquake, war or etc. In case of any natural disaster, if the earthquake occurs, means there may be a lot of loss of property as well as human resource also, which may lead to decrease in population. In case of epidemics also, the population goes on decreasing. Second is change in education policies or politics or recreations. If there any education institutes or different policies are coming into the city, which may increase the population or which may decrease the population of the city. In case of any recreational activities are created in that city, which will attract more people to come into the city. In that case, the population of city may increase. The economical changes as well as development of new industries also affect the population forecasting. In case any new industry enter into the city which creates more and more employability, then the migrants will come into the city, so the population of the city may increase. In case of increase in transportation and conveyance facilities also, if the transportation facility is good, the number of people are coming into the city or going out of the city may changes. This will also leads to a change in for population forecasting. In some cases, unforeseen circumstances such as discovery of oil or mine also affects the population forecasting. Sudden increasing religious importance of the city. If sudden increase in religious importance of the city occurs, it may turn as a tourism places which will attract more number of peoples as well as pilgrims, which also affects the population forecast. As the starting of a project of national importance in or around the city. So, for example, any power plants or other kind of project with national importance or come or around the city, then it may increase or decrease the population. After knowing the various methods of population forecasting, the first method is arithmetical increase method. This is the simplest method of population forecasting, even though it generally gives a lesser results. In this method, the increase in population from decade to decade is assumed constant. The rate of increase in population with respect to time is considered as constant. That is dp by dt is equal to constant. From the census data of past 3 or 4 decades, the increase in population per or for each decade is found. From that, an average increment is found. For each successive future decade, this average increment in population is added to get population for required decade. Even though this may not be so accurate, but it will be very close to get the increased population. Arithmetical increase method is generally used for forecasting of population of the cities of larger scale, those who have reached their saturation population. The population for required decade is found out by following expression, that is Pn is equal to P plus N into I, where Pn is population of required year, where P is present population, where N is number of decades between present and future, either now and future. I is the constant, that is average of population increase per decade. Let us solve problems on arithmetical increase method. The populations of decades from 1960 to 2000 are given below in the table. Find out the population after 1 and 2 decades beyond the last known decade by using arithmetical increase method. They have given year from 1960 to 2000, the population from 1960 to 2000. We need to find out the population for 2010 and 2020 by using arithmetical increase method. The solution to the problem is, the given data in the table is extended to compute or calculate the increase in population for each decade. Here we need to find out increase in population for 1960. To find out increase in population, we need two data. To find out increase in population for the year 1960, we must know the population for the year 1960 as well as population for the year 1950, which is not available now, so the value becomes nil. Next, we need to find out increase in population for the year 1970. The increase in population for the year 1970 is equal to the difference in population between 1970 and 1960. That is, the difference in population between 1970 and 1960 works out to be 29,000 minus 22,500. Here 29,000 minus 22,500 is equal to 6,500. Similarly, we need to find out increase in population for the year 1980, that is the difference in population between 1980 and 1970 is 37,500 minus 29,000 is equal to 8,500. The increase in population for the year 1990 is 47,000 minus 37,500, it is equal to 9,500. The increase in population for the year 2000 is equal to the population in 2000 minus the population in 1990. It is 57,500 minus 47,000 is equal to 10,500. We have calculated increase in population for with respect to decade, that is 1970, 1980, 1990 and 2000. So we need to find out average increase in population per decade, that is the constant we used in the arithmetical increase method, that is dp by dt is equal to constant. To find out the average increase in population, first we must add all these values to get total increase in population. Total increase in population is equal to 6,500, 8,500 plus 9,500 plus 10,500 is equal to 35,000. After finding out the total increase in population, we need to find out average increase in population per decade, that is equal to total increase in population divided by number of decades. Here total increase in population is 35,000 divided by the number of decades is here 1, 2, 3, 4. The decade is the 10 years gap, that is the 1970 minus 1960 is equal to 10 years, that is one decade. Here 1980 minus 1970 is second decade, 1990 minus 1980 is third decade, 2000 minus 1990 is fourth decade. So the average increase per decade is 35,000 divided by 4, which works out to be 8,750. So after finding out average increase per decade, we need to find out the expected or predicted population for the year 2010, that is the population after one decade beyond 2000. Beyond 2000 is equal is means 2010. The formula or expression used for arithmetic increase method is Pn is equal to P plus Ni. So where Pn is required population year, that is 2010, the population for which we are finding out, and P is the known population. We have no last decade population we know, that is P 2000, and N into I, where N is number of year, number of decade between present and known population, that is P 2010 minus 2020, that is 1. I is the constant we already calculated, 8,750. So the population in the year 2010 is equal to 66,250. In the same way, we need to find out the population after 2 decades beyond 2000. So we use same formula here. We need to find out population for the year 2020. So after substituting the data, we get the value here. The required population, the calculated population for the year P 2020 is equal to 75,000. The final outcome of the problem is consolidated in a single table here. So there is increase in population, average increase in population, the population in the year 2010, and population of the year population for the year 2020. For better understanding, let us solve another problem in same method. Here the population of decades from 1970 to 2010 are given below in the table. Find out the population after 1 and 2 decades beyond the last known decade by using arithmetical increase method. So here we need to find out the population for the year 2020 and population for the year 2030 by using arithmetical increase method. So the solution is the given data in the table is extended to compute or calculate the increase in population for each decade. Here we need to find out the increase in population for the year 1970. To find out increase in population, we must require two data, that is present and past population data. Here the present data is available, that is 1970s population is available. The past data is not available, that is 1960s data is not available. So the value becomes nil here. Next we need to find out increase in population for the year 1980 is equal to the population in 1980 minus the population in 1970. The difference between population of 1980 and 1970 worked out to be increase in population for 1980. That is 28,000 minus 25,000 is equal to 3,000. Similarly, we need to find out increase in population for the year 1990, that is equal to population of the year 1990 minus population of the year 1980, that is 34,000 minus 28,000, that is equal to 6,000. In the same way, we need to find out increase in population for the year 2000. Here the population for the year 2000 minus population for the year 1990 is equal to 8,000. Here we need to find out increase in population for 2010, that is equal to population in the year 2010 minus population in the year 2000, that is equal to 5,000. After finding out increase in population of each decade, we need to find out average increase in population per decade. So to find out average increase in population per decade, first we must add all these population, that is increase in population, to get total increase in population, that is 3,000 plus 6,000 plus 8,000 plus 5,000 is equal to 22,000. After finding out total increase in population, we need to find out average increase in population per decade, that is equal to 22,000. We already know total increase in population is 22,000. Per decade we need to find out. So here 1980 minus 1970 is equal to 10 years, that is equal to 1 decade. Here 1 decade. 1990 minus 1980 is second decade. 2000 minus 1990 is third decade. 2010 minus 2000 is fourth decade. So average increase per decade is equal to 22,000 divided by 4, that is equal to 5,500. So after calculating average increase in population per decade, we need to find out population for the year 2010, that is population after one decade beyond 2000. So the expression for arithmetical increase method is Pn is equal to P plus Ni, where P is population for the present population, where I is constant, that is average increase in population per decade. So for P 2020 we need to find out, that is equal to 47,000, that is present population, plus number of decades, that is difference between present and future, that is equal to 10 years, that is 1, and I is constant, that is equal to 5,500. So the total value is 52,500. The population is 52,500. Next, we need to find out the population after 2 decades beyond 2000, that is equal to after 2 decades, that is for population for 2030, that is equal to population of present population data we know is 2010, that is for finding out population for the year 2030 is equal to 47,000 plus 2 times the average increase in population, that is work out to be 58,000. So here is the final outcome of the problem is consolidated. Here the increase in population with respect to decade is here, total increment in increase in population is here. Average increase in population per decade is here. So we have calculated population for 2 decades, that is for population for the year 2020 and population for the year 2030 is equal to 52,500 and 58,000. So next, move on to multiple choice questions. Which method should be used for forecasting population of large cities have reached their saturation population? Option A, arithmetical increase method. Option B, geometrical increase method. Option C, incremental increase method. Option D, master plan method. So in this session we have discussed about arithmetic increase method, that is arithmetic increase method is used for large cities have reached their saturation population. So the answer is option A. Second question. What is the expression or formula used for population forecasting by arithmetical increase method? Option A, Pn is equal to P plus n into I. Option B, Pn is equal to P into 1 plus R divided by 100. Option C, Pn is equal to P into 1 minus R divided by 100. Option D, Pn is equal to P plus Nx plus n into n plus 1 whole thing divided by 2 into y. The correct answer is option A. The expression which we are used for population forecasting by arithmetical increase method is Pn is equal to P plus Ni. Next, third question. For the prediction of population of a city, the factors to be considered are option A, births. Option B, deaths. Option C, migrants. Option D, all the above. So answer is D. Future population of a town depends upon the factors like births, deaths, migration and annexation. Correct answer is D. Fourth question. Population forecasting is defined as method of determining the expected future population of a town or city with the help of available records. Whether the statement is true or false. The option A is true, option B is false. So population forecasting means determining the expected future population of a city or a town. So the answer is A, that is true. Fifth question. Which are the standard methods used for forecasting the population? Option A, arithmetical increase method. Option B, geometrical increase method. Option C, incremental increase method. Option D, all the above. So arithmetical increase method is used to find out population forecasting. Geometrical method is also used to find out population forecasting. Incremental increase method is also used to find out population forecasting. So the correct answer is option D. Sixth question. In which method of population forecasting, increase in population from decade to decade is assumed constant? Increase in population from decade to decade is assumed constant. Option A, arithmetical increase method. Option B, geometrical increase method. Option C, incremental increase method. Option D, decreased rate of growth method. The correct answer is arithmetical increase method. Here, the rate of change of population with respect to time is assumed constant. So, the correct answer is arithmetical increase method. Uh, we have come to an end of the session. I like to acknowledge our team in contribution for this particular session. Thank you.